Environmental issues are a key factor in the operation of a successful business today. To comply with the increasingly stringent environmental regulations requires a huge investment in time and capital resources. The ready-mix concrete industry has been especially hard hit as landfills reach capacity and the number of laws that require responsible water management increase. For years, the industry has searched for a cost-effective method of handling concrete that has been returned from a job site. For the most part, concrete batch plant operators pay to dump returned concrete at designated sites where it's allowed to harden.
Behind me you see an example of a mountain of concrete that's been returned in this local area. From there they would crush it into a base material, which is to my right. From there they'd haul it back out. Nowadays we don't have that luxury of reselling the concrete, and in fact most of these facilities have maxed out their capacity where they are no longer receiving returned concrete.
As landfills reach capacity, the cost for using the remaining facilities has increased dramatically. Small to medium-sized producers can spend anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 per month for concrete disposal. Harbor Ready Mix is one of the smaller batch plant operators. Located in Redwood City, California, near Silicon Valley, they produce between 500 and 800 yards of fresh concrete daily. Historically, the company disposed of between 5 and 30 yards of returned concrete each day.
We got to a point in the last 2 or 3 years that we were spending approximately $30,000 to $35,000 a year disposing of material, and that includes the time involved of dumping it, drying it, hauling it, and paying for dump fees.
Harbor Ready Mix found a solution in a prototype concrete reclamation system designed by David Humphrey Enterprises. The system, called the Rapid Reclaimer, separates the components of returned concrete, allowing all the recovered ingredients to be reused in fresh batches. The Rapid Reclaimer is equipped with submersible mixers and pumps manufactured by ITT Flygt. This innovative method incorporated Flygt's compact mixers and pumps directly into the existing rectangular pits that are used to handle returned concrete.
By incorporating the Flygt agitators, we're able to use the existing rectangular pit that the producer already has coast to coast with a larger volume of water. We can actually go up to about 30,000 gallons of water storage here, or slurry. But with the agitators incorporated, we can suspend all of that slurry, which keeps it in suspension and allows us to send it back across to the concrete batch plant.
Returning drivers dump leftover concrete into the Rapid Reclaimer, where a trommel screen separates the sand from the rock. The remaining cementous slurry and the water that was used to flush the trucks flows through 2 6-inch diameter pipes into an open pit.
There's no secret to separating the rock and sand from the concrete. The problem has always been how to handle the slurry. Until we had an agitator that could agitate the slurry in a rectangular pit, there was never a solution for the industry.
2 corrosion-resistant 15-horsepower Model 4660 ITT Flygt mixers are mounted in a 10,000-gallon pit. The mixers run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in an alternating cycle to keep the solids in suspension. A portion of this slurry is fed through filters to 2 other pits forming clarified water. This water is pumped back to the reclamation system for reuse in the daily flushing and washing of trucks. An 8-horsepower Model 2102 ITT Flygt submersible pump is used to return the remaining slurry 170 feet back to the batch plant. A computer controls how much slurry is introduced into the fresh concrete based on the specifications of the current batch of ready-mix being blended.
What we've done here is we've allowed the ready-mix producer to receive returned concrete or green concrete and discharge it into a concrete reclaimer. By incorporating the Flygt agitators, we're able to keep that slurry water, sand fines, and cement in suspension. The suspension allows us to not have the concrete settle, allows us then to pump the slurry water with the Flygt pumps back across to the concrete batch plant and be resold back out for consumable use by contractors and the public.
Rugged ITT Flygt mixers are perfect for concrete reclamation systems. The tough stainless steel housing and chrome propeller can easily stand up to the abrasive ingredients in the slurry.
We recently pulled the mixers and cleaned them and moved them, and they've been in operation for over 6 months, I believe, and I haven't seen any wear and tear on them whatsoever.
And the heavy-duty ITT Flygt Model 2102 submersible pump, commonly used in mining and construction applications, can withstand the toughest conditions, even those found in the slurry pit.
We cleaned the pump out just recently when we pulled it out, and there's very little buildup in it. We cleaned it out just to check and see whether there was wear and tear or any problems inside the pump, and there was not.
The process is a closed-loop system, recycling property water as well as returned water from the trucks, a big concern because of the highly alkaline nature of concrete slurry. Configured as it is, using the existing pits, the system can easily handle the 4 to 5 yards of returned concrete that Harbor Ready Mix averages daily.
Before, we just simply dumped it at the reclaim center down the street and then rinsed our trucks out and hauled the dry waste away. But now, since we've gotten a new system, we are reclaiming the material and reusing the rock and sand and the slurry water.
Harbor Ready Mix expects to see a return on their investment in 5 years. But the added value of better water management can't be that easily calculated.
Quite honestly, if it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years is really irrelevant. The part of it that's important, there were two things. One of them was the financial, so if it's 5 or 6 years, that's fine. We still made the right decision. The other part is making it easier to comply with the regulations of keeping rinse water or wash water off the ground. It's 100% better than I ever expected it to be. It's much easier to manage.
Dependable Flygt mixers and pumps used in a system to help reclaim returned concrete. Just another example of innovation made possible with products from ITT Flygt, the leaders in submersible mixer and pump technology.